What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? Let me know if y'all can hear me. We are catching up on some custom design requests. And right now I'm looking for Miss Leisha. Let me know if you're here right now. And for those of you who are on Facebook, if you join me on YouTube instead, it will allow me to see your comments and that sort of thing. Yep, that is your cousin. Yep. What's up, Erica? What's up, Elisa? JD, what's going on? Simply Beautiful. Rochelle, hey, love. And Rona, hey, Rona. And to answer your question, I just saw your email. Yes, tomorrow, 7 p.m., we're going to do a live session where we're going to set up Rona's sawgrass printer and make sure that it can do the all over printing. So, Rona, for you doing that live, I'm going to go ahead and give you access to that class for free, so you won't have to pay for it. Because you're going to pay us with your time and energy and allow us to basically set up on your system and make sure everything works. So thank you for that. I know that's a surprise because I know you were talking about purchasing it, but just because you're helping me out and helping all of us out by volunteering your time, it is going to pay off for you. So we appreciate you. And Vegan Life, what's up, love? All right. So let me make sure. Alicia, if you're here, let me know, love. And then if I'm saying your name wrong, let me know that too. And I know you're having to resend photos to me, but I'm going to go ahead and download the ones that you sent me and see if I have to work with those, I will. But if you have the ones without the background cut out, I think that will work best because we can cut them out a little bit cleaner. So I'm downloading them anyway. And I see a message that might be you sending it to me right now. I'll check that out. That's it. Okay, I got you. And I understand why you were wanting to cut that other image out. So I will honor that and make sure that I cut out the photo so it doesn't show anyone else in there. Okay. So we'll do that together too. And these are some beautiful photos. And definitely my condolences. This is a beautiful family and a beautiful young man. And I know that this is definitely going to be a very heartfelt project that we do together tonight. So thank you for sharing this opportunity where we can do it live and help you as well as, learn from this experience too. Okay, so I'm going to show you what you would do, but I'm going to do all the steps here, and then I will have this video saved for you to reference later so that you know how to use this template in the future. Now, right now, this is a Photoshop template, so I'm going to show how to edit it in Photoshop, and then tonight, for those of you who are Affinity users, I'm going to go ahead and convert it to Affinity because this is one that I don't have for Affinity, but if it's ordered as Affinity, then I have to honor that and make it an Affinity file, okay? And that's why the Affinity files are like $5 more than the Photoshop files, because I actually have to take time and convert it for you. Okay, 2720, I think prints 8.5 inches wide, but it can print roll media. So it can print as long as 47 inches, almost 4 feet long, but it can only print 8.5 inches wide. So yeah, the biggest sheets that you're going to do, like Lisa says, the 8.5 by 14. But I do have a template, a split template available for the 8.5-inch printers, and one of them you use 8.5 by 14-inch paper, and the other template is still with the same package. You just use 8.5-inch roll media, and you can cut that roll media, 32 inches if you're doing up to a large, or you can cut it 36 inches if you're doing the up to a 2X. So basically, if you cut the roll media into sheets, you can save a lot of time that goes into tiling all those little pieces if you were considering doing all overs or bigger images. All right, I'm back for a moment. I just had to go close that door so we won't get a lot of background noise. Michelle, we don't offer Affinity classes yet. What I've been teaching people is to learn Photoshop. And once you learn Photoshop, you can pretty much take that training into any other program if you want to, because it is a big deal for me to even teach Photoshop the way that I teach it. But we will start doing some Affinity courses that'll be very basic level where kids can even take the classes. Not that it's only for kids, but this summer we will do Affinity classes that are kid friendly. Yep, we have a split template for, what is it? Let's go to, and if you can post the link for the Academy for the split templates. Basically, all of the split templates are here on the Academy website. And I even created a section for this because it's getting so popular. So I have a 24-inch printer, the 13-inch printers, which will do 13 by 19 sheets, or you can do your 13-inch roll media. All right, this one is for the 8.5-inch printer. You see how I have it separated? If you do the 8.5-inch roll media, you have a lot less tiles. If you do at large, I think it ends up being 10 tiles, which is still less than, I think someone else told me it was 14 tiles when they separated it with Adobe. So basically, I do my best to optimize, make you use as little ink as possible, as little, paper as possible, and just really get to efficiently and effectively do your all over prints with whatever size printer you have. Okay, and if you couldn't find the 8.5, it was like all the way at the bottom on the main page, or you can just go to this little shortcut here where it says all over split tile, and you'll see the 8.5 right down there. Okay. All right, all right. Okay, so I got the photos here. Let's go ahead and get started. Let me ask her if she's on YouTube. So we can go ahead and get this rolling. Yes, absolutely, Lisa. You used to not be able to use your code for that, but now you can use your code. And it even says, I even encourage you to do it. So if you are a $60 VIP member, you get 75% off of this. So although it's $100, and we've had several people that are members pay that, you only have to pay $25 for it. And if you go to the class, you'll see that I have the videos for my step-by-step process of how to actually do your paste up session, or really is taping it up. So it tells you how to lay it out in the template. It tells you how to print it. It tells you how to create your insert jig for inside of the shirt, whether you're going to use a sheet of paper, or you could also use the RAM board to do that process. And then I take you through how we're going to tape it up, how we press it, and then also I press another version with the all over pre-printed sheets. Okay, so you get all of that. It's not just the template. You get the class that we did, the live class, and then every live class that we do, I put the replays down here so you all can pretty much see what a live class looks like when we do those for the all over sessions. Yep, that is the one and only Erica Kane. Okay, Alicia's here. Awesome. Okay, good deal, good deal. All right, so let's get started with this then, and let's go ahead and first figure out what we're going to do with the images, because I know the images have other images in them. So we're going to be very strategic on how we place these and how we cut the images out. So this is going to be helpful for everyone. Usually I use Remove BG just because I like to show you all a process that you can quickly use. And let me go ahead and pull that up. Remove.bg. And this isn't necessary, but this is just a tool that you all showed me that you all like using. And I keep forgetting to give y'all my affiliate link. But one of these days, I will actually maybe get a little penny from this site. All right, so let's go ahead and go to remove background. I'm going to drag and drop my images. 1, 2, and 3. Now, what's going on here too is I have a little confusion on like what the image is, and then I of course have to make sure that I don't include the others in the photo, just the main image or the main subject. So we're gonna do that very strategically. I'm gonna be very careful about how we do that. And this one I want to make sure, I don't think it cut off anything there, but there's a little extra there. We'll get rid of that. And then this one kind of removed a little bit of his shirt because it didn't know if it's background, but we can actually edit that one. And I'm just going to restore that a little bit there. So now that I have all 3 images, they aren't perfectly cut out, but this is a little tool that I like to show you all, just because it comes in handy to be very, very fast, and something that you all have shown me that you're very comfortable with this interface. Okay, now I've also shown you how to cut things out with the pen tool, which is my favorite tool to use. But a lot of times you can also use some of the smart selections that Photoshop can even do for you. All right, so first let's go ahead and we're going to open up our individual images because we need to do a little bit of work to them. And as you all know, with the remembrance shirts, I do take a little more time and energy into making sure that they represent well, because these are memorial pieces for folks. Like this is something that lasts a lifetime, and you want to do this to honor the person that that's being remembered. So we want to definitely make sure that we're doing that. All right, so let me go ahead and save a version of this one before I get started. And let's go ahead and pull up our images. All right, now I do see this one is really close up on the face. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use a pen tool here. And we're going to clean this image up just a little bit. And as a matter of fact, let me go back a moment because I think it may have even cut off a little bit of his ear. Let's see. All right, and this way we have a little bit more of that data there. So show us what we're missing. And I can't tell. I think that might be a part of his ear, but the image is a little pixelated. So we're just going to roll with what we think. So I'm going to start out here. That may or may not be a little piece of ear. I'm going to keep it just in case. If it makes sense, then it makes sense. And then for the face here, I'm going to do my best to follow the contours, but not include too much shadow. And then what I'm going to do, I'll show you how I might be able to take a little bit of this side of the shoulder and bring it on the other side just to make it look a little more balanced and even, because once we cut out this part of the shirt, it is going to look a little weird, like it's going to look like it's missing something, but we're going to do our best to make sure that it makes sense for, in order to honor this beautiful soul so that it doesn't look weird at all. Okay, we work with what we can work with. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make that a selection. I think I'm going to make this a radius of 1. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that works out a little bit there. I probably could have gone with a 0.5, but I think with how pixelated the image is, that's going to work for us. And then what I'm going to do is go ahead and copy a little bit of this side of the shirt. I can't really use that hill figure symbol there, but I'm going to see what I can do. So let's copy and paste real quick. We'll do Control T. We're going to go ahead and flip that horizontal and place it behind everything just to see if maybe I can build that up. And you see, really the problem is that shadow is really different. So we're going to just do our best. I'm not even trying to build his whole shoulder here. What I'm trying to do is just build a little bit of white right there so it does look believable as the rest of that shirt. And I'm going to go ahead and use my brush tool here, and this image is really small, so that's why my brush looks really big, and we're just going to work with it. I'll make sure that my hardness is set to 0, and I'm just kind of brushing off that color there. And that's going to be pretty much good enough for me because all I'm going to do is fade off the entire bottom of everything. So I'm going to group that, create a layer mask, go ahead and make this brush bigger now, and then I'm just going to fade that off there. So then that way when I use it, it just looks like he's going to be kind of fading into the clouds here, okay? So I can go ahead and save this as a PNG. And I'm just converting it to a smart object. So if I need to edit it again, if something really funny happens, I'll be able to edit that again. And I'm going to drag and drop it onto this artboard. And let me find out where my photos are, and I'll drag it on top of the photo there. Okay, and you'll see how I, strategically placed this part. Like I said, I don't intend on using that part of it. So I have to use my creative mind to say, well, how can we arrange things to where it looks best for the customer, and that, they don't feel like anything looks weird. Even if it did have another picture, they can't tell here that there was another photo right beside this one. So we just do our best to make that look right. Let's see, we have another one. We'll pretty much have to do the same thing. All right, so same thing here. And this, this tells a beautiful story. If his best pictures are always with his loved ones, that really tells a great story. I know it makes sometimes for really difficult projects, but it tells a great story because the best pictures are, when he's smiling, when he's next to someone. So the best that we can do to honor him and honor his family is just to make those pictures work. I know it seems simpler to say, hey, you don't just have a good picture of him by himself. Sometimes that's not what you get. Okay, so here I'm going to do the same thing I was talking about earlier, just kind of grabbing this section here. Now I'm doing this a little rough because basically this is all black on this side. So again, I'm going to put it behind the text. So it doesn't have to be exactly clean. Let's see, let's grab this area here. And actually that's a part of her shirt too, isn't it? That's part of her sweatshirt. So really everything outside of this area right now could be black and it's fine. Okay, and then I'm going to select the inverse of that and mask that off. And then let's go ahead and we'll grab this little section here. And we're going to copy and paste. Drag it below, Control T to transform it. I'm going to flip it horizontally. And basically, like I said before, we're not going to have his fingers in there and everything. We're just using this to basically fill up this other part of the area. Okay, and if we need to stretch it out a little bit, we can do that. I'm just looking to basically keep that black right there. All right, so now I'm going to use my layer mask here. All right, and let's fade that off. All right, let's go ahead and move that. And I'm going to use this to kind of go ahead and take some of this color. So the way that we grab color here, I'm actually going to pull this over a little bit too. Okay, the way we grab color is I'm going to go ahead and choose my paintbrush tool. Where am I? Paintbrush is there. And I'm going to choose this black. And I want to choose a black that actually exists. So I'm going to hold down Alt. It turns into a color picker. And I'm going to grab that color right there. And I'm going to paint right on top of the existing image here. And let me go ahead and I'm going to disable the layer mask right here just so I can do that. And this, I have the StreamYard on right now, so it is making my brush work really weird, and I apologize for that because this brush should be painting really smooth and it should not be making these little sharp marks here. But because I'm using StreamYard, it's just doing some little funky stuff right now. And let me go ahead, I'm going to grab this black here, which is actually almost looks like a little bit brown. And I'm going to kind of paint over this area. Okay. And now I'm going to delete my layer mask and start a fresh one. So I can kind of create this shoulder area here. All right, first let me get rid of the piece back here. Oh, I have white selected. I have to make sure black is selected because black conceals and white reveals. Sorry, my loves, that was my niece just popping up. She would like to say hello to you all.
Hi.
All right, so she's gonna do her little Oculus quietly, right?
Right.
Okay, and we'll be able to continue here. Thank you, Emma. I appreciate you stopping by and saying hey to everybody.
Yes.
All right. Oh, Kim says, hey, boo.
Hi, Kim.
All right. And Tiffany says, hi. Alicia says, hey. Lisa says, hi, little niece. So, yeah,
Hello,
good talking
everyone.
back. All right.
I'm in the
So,
background just in case you want to ask questions.
well, they'll have plenty of questions for you with your stuff that you have coming up.
Yay.
All right. So, So nephew's gonna say hey too.
Hi.
All right. All right. You're gonna be quiet while we're.
I need to take a bath.
Okay. We'll go ahead and handle that. Love you. All right. All right. So let's get back to business. You see that there's always something going on here. All right, so like I was saying, I'm going to go ahead and kind of trim off the shoulder. Although we don't need the shoulder per se, I think what it does is just adds a little bit of extra image in case we want to really get in there and make it look continuous. All right, so I'm going to kind of fade this off a little bit here. Let me go ahead and just create a new layer. I'm just going to go ahead and paint right on top there. All right, and then I'll mask that off. There we go. That looks a little more believable there. And this thing is really, really tripping with the StreamYard. My layer masking and stuff. All right, so I'm going to eat that away, and then I'm going to use my pen tool here. 1, 2. I'm pulling it. I'm not just clicking. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a curve that didn't exist here, but we're going to make it exist. So let's make that a selection. Feather it 1 pixel, and then I'm going to come in with my white because white reveals and black conceals. So I'm going to paint here. There it goes. So we brought that back. And then this stuff down here I don't need anymore. So I'm probably going to end up fading that off. But I want to add a little bit more black down here just so that I have something to fade off from. And a lot of times you just putting color there is going to give you something to work with. All right, so let's just grab our paintbrush here. Let's make it bigger. I'm going to grab this darker color here, and I'm just going to paint across the bottom there. Okay. And like I said, it's just going to give us something to fade off from. I didn't even need to take it all the way over there. And you'll see what I'm talking about when I pull it into the image. All right. So I'm going to group all of this, turn it into a smart object, and bring it over, and then I can see how much I can fade off, like what we really need to count. Okay. And I do see his fingers there. I want to see the deuces, so let's do Control T. I'm going to flip this. It's not letting me flip it. Don't know why. I can go into my smart object and flip it though. Control T. Let's flip this. Why isn't it letting me flip it? I think this StreamYard is doing something to my functions. Let me see. And nope. It is really not letting me flip this thing. And normally if you flip it, it'll do that. What is going on? Okay, so let me do this. Let me save what I'm working on because I think Photoshop's giving me some funky little cues right now. Let's save. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab this image here too while I'm at it. And then that way we can see which one we want to use for the main image. So here I see that I want to get this space right there. So let's use the pen tool again. I'm going to start out here, kind of follow the natural curves. And there's some shadows that fall in the hair and on the face, so you have to be a little bit careful there. Get those good cheekbones there. And then I'm going to take out the rest here. There we go, we closed that up. Let's do a selection. We'll do 1 pixel here and go ahead and mask that off. And that looks good. All right, let's drag and drop that one in. All right. And that's a different one. That's some socks there. Let's go ahead and close this one out. Okay, now as far as resolution goes, I think this is the best resolution image. However, it's kind of a difficult angle to put those wings on. So let me see if I have some side wings, and I know that I do. I just have to remember which one it's in. Might even be, this one just has one set of wings. I'm trying to pull up another. I think it's this one. Is it this one? I'm gonna get some wings that that fit this angle a little bit better. Let's see, where are my wings here? All right, so let's check them out. That's half down. I think I want to do 1/4 turn wings. Let's see. Let's pull in those 1/4 turn wings and see if they make sense. Yeah, and then Control T. All right, so let's right click. Why am I not able to flip things right now? Okay, I'm gonna save this. I think I need to shut Photoshop down and open it back up. But at least I was able to find the wings. I think will work better. And Let's go ahead and save those. All right, let's see one more time before I shut this down. Is it gonna let me do what I want to do? Nope. Oh Lord, I'm sitting there the whole time. It is right here. It's flipped horizontal. I don't know why I was looking at this up here, the warp. So yeah, it was me tripping. It wasn't Photoshop this time. Because y'all know Photoshop be tripping. All right, so there we go. That looks a little more believable to me as far as the angle and everything. So I think we'll use this image, right? Let me Control T, turn it a little bit. And then what we'll do is we will strategically place our other photo. So let's take the photo here, Control T. I'm going to flip it horizontal like I was trying to do in the first place. Okay, so now I have my piece there, right? And then this one here, if we want to use this one still, let's bring that photo. And pull it all the way to the front so it'll be in front of the wings there. And then we can use this one, make it a little bit bigger. All right. And then as far as this one goes, if I wanted to do the same thing and create a little more image here, since it looks like we're missing something, let me go back to the photo and we'll play with that. Let's go back, and that's why I kept it as a smart object too. So we can go back and borrow from it or change something if we need to. So I'm gonna take this whole, you know what? I'll take this whole area here. And let's copy, paste. I'll bring it below it, Control T, transform it, flip it horizontal, and let us see if we can kind of build out that area there. Now it is a different color. Like I said, it has shadows over here and everything, but our objective is really just to, so nobody can tell that there was another person there. So we just do what we have to do to make that work. So I'm actually going to remove the H here, get my soft brush, go to the layer mask of the top photo, and oh, you know what? Let me add a layer on top of that. I forget that we actually have a person under there. So let's go ahead. Let's grab maybe this lighter white color. And we're basically just trying to brush away some of the evidence that there's anything off there. Okay. And there are clone tools and other things you can use as well. But this is kind of more of the quicker fixes. All right, and then I can tell that that was kind of part of that sleeve there. We'll end up fading this off down here, so this isn't going to be as important to us. But now I kind of want to smooth this out. So I'm going to come up here, create a layer mask, and then I'm going to use black to conceal the area outside of that mask. Or, of course, I just created an automatic clipping mask. All right, so looks a little weird, but we're gonna work with it. Okay, so now we're gonna end up fading off this image a little bit. Let's go ahead and do a layer mask. Let's make a big brush now. Usually I do somewhere about 400 to 500 if I want to just fade off gradually. And I have black selected, so as you can see, as I'm brushing here, it's not deleting any pixels, but it is kind of fading them away. All right, so that makes a little bit more sense for us. I probably could even cut it a little more since I changed its angle a little bit to where it's sitting more straight up. Because before he was leaned over, I would need to cut into that just a little bit. So pen tool, here we go. I'm going to make kind of like an arbitrary kind of shoulder-ish type of shape here. All right, and let's add that. So selection, 1 pixel there. And instead of deleting anything, I'm just going to use my paintbrush and paint that away. All right, so now that makes a little more sense, right? Let's go ahead and turn off our initial images and our straight up wings because they didn't seem to really fit too well. And then these wings, because his shirt's so bright and white, let's brighten those wings up a little bit. We'll do a levels here. And let me make sure that I clip this, create a clipping mask. So it's just going to occur to the wings, not to the whole image. And I don't want them to look washed out. I still want to see some detail in them. But I want them to kind of go more with that bright white smile and that bright white shirt. And let's turn the levels off and on and see if it did what we wanted it to do. And I think it did. Then I'm going to make these wings a little bit longer. All right. So now to me, it makes more sense. If you prefer the straight up wings, let me know. And, I could just be overreacting right now and need to change that for you. So as far as the halo, so the halo is, it has a layer mask on it. So before the young gentleman, he had his natural hair, it was very textured and it was standing up, right? So that's why the halo was cut off in those areas. So we're going to delete that layer mask and we're going to come up with a new layer mask after we get the halo where we want it. And then if you want to take off the halo, by all means, let me know and I'll remove it for you, okay? All right, so when we have the halo kind of where we want it, in order for it to look like it's behind his head a little bit, I like to take the image, the main image, Control, select, get those active pixels. So I selected on that thumbnail there. And I'm going to go to the halo. And instead of making a regular layer mask, I want to do a layer mask that is hiding the selection. Okay, and see how it automatically made it look like his hair was in front? And that's because we hid the part of the halo where his image was. So now if we take the halo plus that photo and we link them, wherever I move the halo now, he moves, and wherever I move him, his halo moves. All right. Let's see here. I'm going back to my message here and correct me if you need to do any. Okay, I see the words here. So we're going to do the dates. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste. I like to copy and paste this type of information because, especially for things that are really sensitive and very important, you don't want to be the reason why something is messed up. So I prefer to copy and paste, especially dates and names, because a lot of times people, especially when we're in grief and when we are trying to do all of this last minute stuff, and all of this stuff is really overwhelming. If you messed up a date and let's say your customer doesn't notice when you retyped it. So technically, once you give your customer a proof, it's their responsibility to proof it. But for situations like this, I always ask for them to type it to me, because more than likely they're not going to mess it up when they're typing it, especially like if it's a spelling or a date, something like that. And then secondly, I don't want to have to be the one to tell somebody after they printed so many shirts, or after they purchased so many of something, that, hey, well, the date was wrong, but you were supposed to proof it, so you got what you got. That if you can avoid situations like that, especially when you're talking about a very sensitive situation like this, that's going to be my suggestion for you, okay? Just get it and copy and paste it. It'll be the least of your issues, okay? Then they can nitpick over a photo and not have to worry about whether something was spelled right or the right date is there. All right, so I just put a comma in there. That's all I did. Everything else was copied and pasted. So I'm going to get the name here, and again, I'm going to copy and paste. So you can double click on the words or the text, and it'll allow you to replace the text. And I'm just copying and pasting there. And here I can do Control T and make this a little bit bigger. And I can even take up a little more space. This is a 13 by 19. And this image was converted from an all over. So I do have a little bit more tall space that I can take up. So bring the dates down a little bit here. All right. And Alicia, if there's anything that that you need me to change or modify, I am looking at the comments for you. I might talk a little bit, but eventually I do look over at those comments for you. All right. Okay. Oh, that was the original picture. That's not the one we need. That's the one that was cut out. But you see how just using the picture, and Alicia, this is for you. The photo that was already cut out, we were able to kind of use it a little bit better. That same image that still had that extra image in there, we were able to kind of put a spin on it to use it still, and we can tell that something probably was there, but that's only because we know something was there. So, yep, absolutely. He's a junior. You want to add that? Absolutely. Okay, so let's do comma, junior, period. It's okay, love. And I know, and you know what? I commend you for even trying, because you try to send me the images with the background already cut out, and most people don't even try to do that much. So I commend you for stepping up and making that part of what you considered when you gave me the photos. Let's see, there was something else that you wanted to do for yours. Okay, got you. So it was a Dallas fan. Okay, so of course this is for personal use, and I'm going to say that because that's what we need to know when it comes to printing this stuff. Okay, so because it's for personal use, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to put your symbol on there. So it is, and I know I have this somewhere, but it's probably easier for me to find it online again. And I'm gonna look for a PNG. I'm not guaranteed to find a PNG. Or an SVG. All right, and let's see, the SVG is here. Right click, save image as. And if I take the PNG off, it should be an SVG. We'll see. And then I should be able to drag and drop it right into the artboard. There we go. And just so that it's not the focal point, let's pull it into the background. And in front of the frame, here we go. And I'm going to try a little something here. Let's see if we can just use it to accent. I'm going to hold down Alt, click and drag. It turns into a double arrow there. And then let's do one more. Because it's an SVG, it doesn't lose any type of resolution when you make it bigger or smaller. And let's see if we bring this fill down. It'll make it more transparent. So you get the idea that it's there, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the main idea. We still see the serenity in the background and everything. So let's see. And let me know what you feel about that. If you want them to be more prominent, I can definitely do that as well. All right. All right. That's good. All right. All right, good deal, good deal. Now I have this pink on just because I like to see if my background is going to be clean and if I'm going to have anything running into any issues as far as clipping my artwork. That's what I'm looking for. And as a matter of fact, I can take this mask here and I'm going to make it just a little bit taller. So we make the most out of that 13 by 19, but we still have enough to where we're not using up so much ink because we're able to keep things clean on the outside here. So let's go ahead, let's turn off the pink and I'll turn on a white background just so you can see what this will look like on a white shirt. And you see we don't have any hard edges here. I can even Control T and let's transform this background just a little bit. And get more of it in there. And let's Control 0, just zoom in there and let me know if this is good to go, love. Okay. And this way, technically, too, you're not using that whole logo. You're kind of cropping it off. So I like to do things to abstractly, use things that I know could be an issue rather than, straight up using it boldly, even if it is for personal use, because even if you make something for personal use when you're wearing it out and about, you want to be able to show off. You want to tell people where you got it from and or that you made it, you created it. And I know sometimes we might be a little bit careful about doing that, even if it's something we personally made, if we feel like it infringes on anything. I'm making this a little bit smaller, and I'm going to use my white to bring back a little bit of this down here because I feel like that frame is popping through a little too much in that area. All right, last thing I'm going to do, and like I said, I don't normally do this with all of my projects, only like if I'm doing something for you all or something for like a remembrance shirt because it's really, really important. I'm going to do my best to kind of even out some of the skin tone here to make sure that it all kind of matches. So let's go to group 1. It looks a little bit dark, so I'm going to go to my levels here. and just kind of play with that a little bit. Again, the levels have to be clipped down to just that image. Otherwise, it'll affect everything below it. So I'm just pulling that color up a little bit. I still want to see the shadows there. I don't want it to look completely washed out. So I'm thinking I can also bring some of his, the saturation of the colors there. So I'm going to also do a hue saturation here. Bring it down to where it only affects that photo. And let's bring the saturation up just a little bit. That way we can see some of those reds coming through. Now this one is almost a little too red, well, compared to the others. And let's go to that one. And we'll just do a hue saturation change on this one. So I'm going to my layer adjustments and let's do hue saturation. And we're just going to play with this hue just a little bit to see. Oh, I gotta clip it down, create a clipping mask so that it only affects that photo below, because I'm kind of comparing it to the other photos right now. And I'm not trying to be perfect. I am just trying to get a little balance here. So I'm pulling the saturation down on this one, and then I'm shifting the hues a little bit to see if I can get closer to that. That's more red tone instead of an orange tone. And also I can select just the skin tone there, and those are the reds, and I can just affect the reds rather than everything else. All right, I'm not trying to make it perfect. I just want it to look a little more like the other photos. All right, and then let me try, oops, to forward these levels just a little bit. All right, and then what I like to do is kind of turn everything off and see if what I did really fixed something or caused more of an issue. So there is the bottom right photo with the adjustments, and then the bottom left photo with the adjustments. I think it looks a little bit better. All right, so you won't complain? I feel you. Thank you, thank you. Let's see, anything else? I think that covers everything that you wanted to do for this one, love. Now, I don't have this one available as Affinity, so if you need it as Affinity, I have to convert it to Affinity. And when I say convert it, basically, a lot of times I may even have to redesign it. So I'm going to go ahead and save what I have here. And I haven't used Affinity in a little while, so I may even have to update it. So let's see. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to open with, and I'll do Affinity Photo. And I will send you both versions. I'll send you the Photoshop version and the Affinity Photo version. Oh, you have Photoshop? Oh, awesome. Okay. All right, there is a new version of Affinity. Download. I don't know why I'm trying to do this while I'm online. And see, y'all see what happens? I'm just going to show y'all. The reason why I like to teach in Photoshop is because we have, like, basically, if you think of all the tools that you can possibly use, right? If you learn Photoshop, you're kind of learning the best of the best, all the possible tools you can possibly use. And then Affinity is just, a notch down from that. I will say, that I find Affinity to be, mirroring Photoshop very well for most things. But there are some things that I really got used to in Photoshop, like being able to do the multiple strokes. I can't do that in Affinity. I basically have to create multiple levels of the image, like put them in folders, then do it another stroke, then put it in another folder, do a stroke on that, rather than doing my multiple strokes and my advanced effects to a single layer. So with that said, now I'm going to go ahead and send you this one now, Alicia, because I don't know if you have to work on this tonight. I believe you said you did, so I'm going to go ahead and send this over to you right now. Let's see. It's going to take a little bit because it is a Google Drive link. Oh, so Alicia, you have Photoshop because of my videos. I feel honored, and I think I have an affiliate link for Photoshop too that I've never used. I was considered for their affiliate program, and I don't recall whether they actually gave me an affiliate link or not because I just stay busy with y'all. Y'all keep me on my toes, but I definitely should be using that too, Mom. But yeah, I just sent you that over, love, and I will also go ahead and save this as a PNG. Okay. File. Let's save as. I'm going to save it as a PNG so you have that ready to go. So Alicia, we got to get you one of our Photoshop classes on Sundays, because I think that if this is stuff that you're interested in doing, I think the classes on Sundays are really be useful for you. And let's see, I'm going to do two things. I told y'all I'm going to start doing something for free whenever we do these live sessions. So, Leisha, just because you did all of this tonight, I am going to enroll you in whichever course you want from the Innate Academy, okay? And they're simple follow-along videos. And you might even be a part of the academy already. I'm not sure. So if you are, let me know. If not, let me know which course you want, and I will enroll you in that one tonight. Okay. So let's show you what your options are. And then I have one more design to do tonight. And let me check to see. I think it's going to be done off. Okay. Courtney, do it fast. Okay. All right. So I'm asking Courtney to join me so we can go ahead and get ours done. And that'll be my last thing to do. Well, not my last thing to do for today. Y'all already know how this thing goes. So we'll go to the academy, and Erica will post the link for you. And just let me know. I wanna enroll you in a course, and then that way you see what it looks like and how we go through it, and kind of how it feels. And if you want to become a member, then there is a membership. It's all the way at the top here. There's a $60 a month membership that basically it's the same as a $30 a month membership. The only difference that I tell people that this VIP even exists is my VIP were for my true ride or dies that literally were paying $60 per class for 4 classes a month. Okay. And I looked at that and I said, well, I have some folks that are always coming to class, and I really want to reward them for participating in the live sessions and also give them, sort of a financial break. That's expensive to pay $60 per class even if you were just doing 2 classes a month, that's very expensive. So I made a VIP plan for them to basically, they pay $60 a month. They get to attend 4 classes, up to 4 classes a month, if they want to. And then they also get the perks of the $30 membership, which is that they unlock 4 courses. They unlock their 4 pre-recorded courses every single month. And then in addition to that, any new member, whether you're a $30 member or $60 member, you automatically unlock the first 4 courses immediately. So your first month, you're going to get 8 courses, 8 templates. After that, you'll get 4 courses that unlock every single month. Really, they unlock every 7 days. So as long as you're an active member, you're going to have that new content unlocking for you. And then as long as I'm making classes and making content, you have like infinite content that you'll be able to purchase early if you don't want to wait for the unlock. You can use the 67% off code if you're a $30 member. And then you can use your 75% off code if you are a $60 member towards any classes you don't want to wait on. And all of your classes basically unlock eventually, right? So for instance, we just did the Zodiac one. It's course number 128. So you would have to wait approximately 24 weeks for this one to naturally unlock. But if you want to get it early, if you're a VIP member, you're only going to pay $7.50 for the pre-recorded courses, so you'll get the template and the course with it. If you're a standard member, then you're only paying $9.90 for those for those classes that you want to unlock early. And of course, you can use your discounts on stuff like this all over split template, which is really, really popular. The only thing you can't use the coupon codes for is like when I do something like this, like that live class where we did the all over, we split it together on the computer, we printed it, we trimmed it with scissors, we taped it up, and we pressed it all together. That was so intense that I can't possibly do those at a discount. And anybody that was in that class will tell you we did a good 6-7 hour bid, okay? And it's not like it's a bad thing. Everyone got through it. We all worked together, and I made sure that there was no creative left behind. Okay, so yeah, this is a paid membership to the Academy. The Innate Creatives membership is of course free. That's where we're kind of showing off. We're letting you know what new things that we're learning and doing in the courses. And the Innate Academy is literally an academy. It is where you go to learn the specific topics that we're touching on, and every single module. Every single class that we do is something that I want you to, by the end of class, not a week later, not 3 months later, the end of the very class that you take, you have a final product that at least a mock-up, you can post immediately and start taking orders and start making money off of any of these. And I promise you, I'm not making a class if I don't think it's going to make you money or it's going to grow your business. I guarantee you that I'm not making anything that I wouldn't sell myself, or that I don't sell myself. All right, Alicia. So I would suggest if you want to do the classes, if you do, this is my difference between $30 and $60 membership. We're using Photoshop. We're all using Photoshop. I use Affinity if I need to create a template specifically for somebody for Affinity. And I do have some Affinity templates. I just don't teach Affinity. So I try to stick with one thing, and this is something new to me, staying in my lane. I'm trying that right now, and then eventually I'll find ways to pull into the Affinity lane. Okay, but right now, if you do the $30 membership, if you only plan on taking one class a month, one live class, right now there's Sundays at 6 p.m. So if you think you would take advantage of every Sunday class at 6 p.m., I would say the $60 a month plan is good for you. It's the best for you. If you only plan on taking maybe one class a month or maybe no classes at all, per month, no live classes. Then you can do the $30 a month, and then you're basically having access to the pre-recorded courses, unlocking, and any pre-recorded course that you want early access to, then you would use your coupon code so that you're not paying full price for those pre-recorded courses. Okay, and literally some of the more popular items that you want, like this graduation mock-up and template here, basically we change out the t-shirt design and it automatically creates the stole, or you can change out the stole and it will automatically redesign the t-shirt. So those type of things you may want early because it won't unlock for you, and you just use your coupon code to unlock those early. So really and truly, the Academy is now my place where I put the freshest designs, the new stuff that we're working on, the things that you all tell me in the Innate Creatives Facebook group. Y'all will tell me, hey, we want to learn how to do the graduation stoles. Then that's a class. I have one coming up where I actually ordered. So I have a supplier for the men's ties, the cufflinks, and some pocket squares. So we're going to do that as a project. We're going to do that as a class just because you asked. Okay, so there are going to be some things that we do because you want to learn them and because this is what you need to grow your businesses. All right, love. So let me go ahead. I'm going to save this one out. Let's see. Courtney, are you here yet, love? If Courtney's here, we can go ahead and get started on her so she can let me know if this one is good to close out. So Alicia, we're good on this one. I think I already emailed it to you. Let me know if you received it. So we're going to hold off on doing this on Affinity right now if you don't need the Affinity, just because Courtney needs hers tonight as well. And I want to make sure that I take care of her. Okay. Or it could be him, because Courtney could be a gentleman. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and download these things for Courtney. Oh, you're welcome, Alicia. You are absolutely welcome, and thank you. I appreciate you trusting us with this special project and just for your support in general. Thank you so much, love. We appreciate you. All right, so let me see my next one. Purple, white, and gold. All right, so let's go ahead and get this one going. And Alicia, make sure you let Erica Kane know which course you want. And while I'm waiting, I'm gonna check on Corey and see if, or Courtney, I'm sorry. And I'll just go ahead and start on it if I don't get any immediate feedback, just to make sure that it's done for tonight. But I'm just going through my comments here, and I'm going to stop somewhere randomly on a name, and that person will receive a free course as well. So I enroll you. All you have to do is just put your email in the comment right now, and I will enroll you in. We'll put your email, and then I want you to put the number. How about everybody do this? Because I don't know who's here right now. So if you put the number of the course that you want, like I told you, these are the number courses. So it'll be like 122. Stick with 100 levels, especially if you're new, because the 200 levels, we did a few 200 level courses where we did our Shopify store and that sort of thing. Those are, for a little more advanced. Like basically, I request that you have at least 2 to 3 100 level courses completed before you try a 200 level course. Okay. So whichever number you want, go to the Academy website, and I want you all to comment. Just comment whatever number course you want. That's all you have to do. Just comment a number course that you want, and then I'm going to randomly choose someone to get that course for free tonight. Okay. Whichever course you desire. Yes. Erica says, make sure you like the video first, please. So yeah, y'all like the video before you go winning stuff, please. It definitely makes a difference. Okay. So I'm waiting on that. I'm gonna give y'all a little time to get that in so that you can look up which one you really think you want. And we'll pick a winner in just a moment. All right. So let me go ahead and save that one. We're done on that. And all right, I see y'all are putting your numbers up. I see you. I'll give y'all a little bit more time. I know there's a little bit of a delay here. And for some reason, for Courtney's file, this is weird. It's not pulling up the images. It's giving me an issue here. Oh, I know why. This is an old order. So Courtney must have another order then. Let me go back. Yep, that's what it is. All right, so this one is build flowers. I'm just downloading the photos now. All right, let's see. What kind of numbers do we have here? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that participated. I'm gonna randomly scroll up and down, and where I stop, someone will win. All right. A whole R. Am I saying, is it a whole? Oh, let me know if I'm reading that wrong. Class number 113. Go ahead and type your email for me, love. And let me know if I'm pronouncing your name incorrectly. If it's not a whole R, I got you. I will definitely correct that. All right. Let's see. I'm downloading one last photo here. And let's see what we got going on here. And again, I'm going to just go ahead and bring up my remove BG and drag and drop our images there and see how well it does. It may not do well at all, depending on whether it can distinguish the background for some of these photos. Okay. And sometimes it surprises me how well it can find the background. All right, and that one is definitely off. Well, you know what? I think what it is her hands are in motion right there, so it's really hard for me to pick out where the hands are. So I'll fix that, and then we won't be using the bottom of the picture, so I'm not concerned about that. There's a beautiful smiling photo there. All right, so let's go ahead. I can clean up the majority of this, but I'm going to go ahead and download what we have just so we can get this one going. It's a long story behind it. I figured that. But you know what? Sometimes having a unique name makes you stand out and gets you a little extra attention. So definitely, as soon as I saw it, it got my attention. Gave me a little laugh for the night. I was feeling a little drained, but there's a little boost of energy every time you giggle. All right, so I'm downloading these images, and like this one, I'm definitely going to have to edit that one. You see how the hands are in motion there, so kind of add that back and do my best to kind of create something there. And I can erase this over here, but I would honestly rather do it with Photoshop. All right, so let me go and download that one. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 images. Adrian. All right, Adrian. All right, so Adrian, you gave me your email, and I cannot stand that I cannot copy and paste from here. So let me see if I can access this on the YouTube channel, because I'm doing it through StreamYard and I can't copy and paste it from the comments. Do it through StreamYard and I can't. All right, so let's see. I'm on regular YouTubeage now, so maybe I can copy and paste. Yeah, for some reason the email went away, because now I don't see it on here. Here it goes. I guess YouTube does something weird, because I see it on my StreamYard, but I don't see it on my YouTube. Oh, maybe it blocks it. Oh, it's on top chat. I need to put it on live chat. Duh, Deidre. Okay. Let's copy that. And I'm going to go ahead and enroll you now while I'm thinking about it, because Lord knows if one thing I'm trying to implement, what I'm learning to implement, is a strategy for people that are just successful in what they do, whether they're millionaires or not. It is, if it takes you less than 2 minutes to do a task, do it immediately. I'm one of those people that have a lot of 2-minute tasks on a Google Keep list somewhere. And if you all are like that, then you might be a type of creative like me as well, where you kind of put even the simplest task on a list. Well, one of the things they say for creative people, if you just take the time out, if it takes less than 2 minutes, and you go ahead and do it at that very moment, it will take away from the stress that you're putting on your brain to try to remember that. Matter of fact, you're going to spend more than 2 minutes going and back and forth with yourself, like, oh yeah, I got to do this, and oh yeah, I got to do that. So you'll spend more time trying to remember the task than actually completing the task. And that's supposed to be a way that we more efficiently work. We, take down some of the strain on our brains. And then that way we can create more fun art. All right, so let me see. Adrian, which was your course? Adrian, 113. All right, so Adrian, I'm going to 113 right now. 113, I am going to enroll a customer. I am entering your email address. You should be receiving an email that you now have access to course number 113. Oh, cool. You got the Epson 6370. Awesome. So yes, if you already committed to that big boy printer, you want to be using it as often as possible. And not just for you want to keep your printer going because it can affect your print heads, but because you spent that money and it's time for that machine to make some money for you. So I definitely think that you'll get something out of the classes and get some work going. As soon as you post a mock-up, you're going to have business flowing in for that. All right. And then also, Leisha, you let me know which class you want, and I will go ahead and just email me that, because I'll have your email. I already have your email, and you can just email me what class you want to try out. Okay. All right. So y'all won a little something today. I'm trying to keep my word of saying that I'll do something, do a winner or some type of giveaway every live that we do. Even if it's something small, I'm going to make sure that I look out for y'all. Okay, so let's see how these photos are looking. Let's go pull them up in our folder. Let's right click on our image here. We can turn off the image and we'll go ahead and drag and drop the individual images here. Now, this is more of a collage because it's 4 different images. And we're just going to go ahead and pull them in and then see what we can do with what we have. And I think this is probably the best image as far as like the the highest resolution, and she's smiling in this one. So, well, she's smiling in most of these pictures. She's cheesing. All right, so let's see how we're going to use these overall. But yeah, I think that's the best kind of full resolution image there. All right, and we have these little flares that we'll move around based on, I don't want it to be over anyone's face. So let's go to the photo here. And I'm just going to rename these so I know this one's going to be photo 1, photo 2, photo 3, photo 2. I wish I could spell tonight. Photo 4. Okay, and then we'll just arrange these so that we get the most out of it. So this one, definitely I'm going to do a little fading off here. Just add a layer mask. Grab our brush here. And I need to make sure black is selected because black conceals and the white reveals. So I'm concealing part of the image right now. Control T to transform that a little bit, make it a little bit smaller so that we can fit more of the other images there. Now, I think what I'm going to do is, because this hand is really in motion and I don't want to have to build a hand. That is a lot of work. So I'm going to see if I can maybe put that hand behind the head, and that way I can focus more on the one that has the 2 fingers, because that will be easier than the multiple fingers there. Oh, wrong one. Photo 3. Let's double click on it. So the free templates, love, you just have to go to the Innate Lab website and type in free. And once you go to, I have a whole video on how you download. It's a little weird how you download the files because they're on a Google Drive. So you have to log in order to access those. You'll see your My Downloads, and then you also, once you go to My Downloads and you try to download them, you're going to have to log in to Google in order to have access to that. But they are, I have plenty of people, like in the thousands, that have downloaded that file. All right, so I'm going to do 1 pixel here. Because this image is already kind of has pixels deleted, I don't feel bad deleting pixels here. So what I'm doing now is I'm kind of pretending that I know what I'm looking at and hoping that it looks like what I want it to look like when I'm done. So because I don't know what it's going to look like, I'm not going to delete those pixels. I'm going to do a layer mask because I could very well be cutting off a piece of the finger that I want to keep. All right, so let me create a layer mask here, and let's hide that selection. Okay, that looks all right. And then I'm trying to follow the hand here. So I can grab that as the finger so that I can tell it's making a peace sign there. And this is a really low resolution image, so I will not put this like as a big image. I'll keep it small. All right, and now I'm just going to grab my paintbrush and my black. And because the image is so small, the brush looks huge. So I'm going to bring it down in size and just brush that off. All right, so let's see. This one over here, like I said, I could try to make these fingers work, but I would basically end up painting on some fingers over here. So what I'm going to do is just real closely, I'm going to kind of cut this down. I think there might even be a whole part of the hand right here that just is in motion, so it looks like it's missing. And I'm just going to kind of paint that away there so it doesn't get in the way with our composition. Righty. Let's just go ahead and close out of this. I'm going to say yes in order to save the changes I just made. You see, I can't even see the details in the face, so I'm not going to put this image too big because I don't want you to be able to see that you can't see the details. All right, let's go ahead and zoom out now. There we go. So like I said, I had that one behind the head. There's a little strategic move there. Sometimes it's about how you do it and not what you're working with. All right. This one, I think this is a pretty picture here, but it's still low resolution. So I'm going to take this one and put it on this side. I think these are all kind of low resolution. And this one here, let's see, she looks so happy right here. Let's do Control T, let's make it bigger. And I am going to play with making this one less opaque and more in the background. And it's, you know what, it's kind of impossible to do that because I have the gate here and I don't want her looking like she's like peeking through the gate. So let's bring it back to the front. Bring back the opacity to 100 and let's just reduce that in size. And then I'm just going to fade off the bottom of the image here by doing a layer mask, grabbing my paintbrush, expanding that size, and just cleaning that off a little bit there. That's it. And let me make sure get the name here. And I'm just doing Control T to make sure I can fit this on here. All right, and then of course we need to put the dates on here. I don't already have dates ready. I don't think I do on this one, do I? Bless you. Bless you.
Now, is it the 12?
Right, so this one, I do have some dates here. All right, so I'm putting the dates in here, but I'm probably gonna format the dates a little bit different. So right now I'm just gonna make sure that they fit. All right, and let's see, for the dates, I'm going to pull down some of the effects here, just because the text is so much smaller. Let's see, let's do 3 for the first stroke and 12 for the second. Or you can bring it down to 9. And then let's pull the drop shadow back just a little bit. Okay. All right, so I think this one, okay, so she says she wants this one as the main photo. Okay, so let's take this one. Let's blow it up. And we'll take this one, shrink it down. And I have to make this one quite a bit bigger because this is supposed to be the main photo and it still has some of that extraneous kind of stuff in the background. So it looks really tall, but it's not that tall. Okay. So now that we have a taller image here, I'm going to go ahead and move these accordingly. So photo 4. And I'm going to go ahead and fade this off because I see that that's cut off at the bottom. Layer mask, grab my paintbrush, fade it off at the bottom. There we go. And then this one, now this one might be a little harder to hide behind. There we go. I was trying to hide that hand behind there. And for this one, we already faded it off a little bit, but I might do a little bit more. Place that behind. But in front of the red, there we go. And this one, since it's a shorter image, I might be able to do as my watermark. Let's bring it all the way to the back. Bring down the opacity here. All right, and let's see if I can bring this one down a little bit. Still hide the hand there. Control T. Make that a little bit bigger. Now keep in mind that one is really pixelated. And I'm still trying to figure out what to do with the 4 photos without making it look like it's too busy. But I think I can manage that with the current layout, because it's cut off at the shoulders here, so I kind of have to find a way to make it not look cut off. So let's bring that back. All right, I think that works. Maybe even make this a little bit bigger. There we go. Add a tad bit more balance there. Well, all right. And I think I'm going to do the outline on this text a solid color, just because it's really hard to see. And I think that makes it a little bit easier to see. Now the colors are not going to be pink. The colors are teal, brown, and cream. Okay. So let's take the word rest. Let's make that one teal. We're going to go to the FX here and change the color overlay to teal. When I think teal, I'm thinking of greenish, blue, maybe something like that. It's a darker teal. And then I'm just going to copy that layer style, copy it, and then I'll paste it on the end piece. Paste layer style. And then I'll also paste that layer style on the name. And then I'm going to grab the color code here for the teal, just so I can keep it consistent. I'm going to copy that. And then I'll paste that color on the date here. So I go to my color overlay and choose the color that we picked. And then I'm going to take that same color overlay and recolor this background. And instead of the pink colorway, we're going to go with changing that pink to the teal. And then for this one, I'm going to choose teal, and then I'm going to pull it down to make it a little bit darker. Just so that I can have a little variation here. Select that one. will that color stop? And I click anywhere else where there is no color stop and it'll duplicate that. And I'm just choosing a more pastel version for that little highlight area. All right, and what else do we need to do? It says brown and cream. So, oh, let's change the color of the flowers. Let's duplicate that one and our teal color. All right, so our flower colors changed. And since we're going with like a cream color, I don't know, well, maybe so the 49ers, because if it weren't a team, I would change the color of it, just kind of make it match the theme. But because it is a team jersey, the color may, have significance to the family, so I'm going to leave that be. All right, so I think we don't have any of the flares that are over the face, so I'm okay with that. Zoom in a little bit here. Oh, are you? Well, E, if you need some help, let me know and I'll help you. After I finish this one for Courtney, I'll help you with that one, okay? I know it's hard, baby. And if you need some help, I will definitely help you out with that one. As much as you help me out and you do for me, it is the least that I can do, okay? Let's see. And I'm trying to see here if this area right here is her hair or the background. I don't think it might be. You know what? I think this is a little too. I'll tell you what I can do. Hopefully. I'm going to take the hairdo from this one. And because I can't really see the hair there because it's kind of blended in with the sky. Let's see if we can kind of do a little hairdo swap here. I get my pen tool and because this one, like, I can see the finger waves and stuff in it, so I can kind of get a better idea of this one as the hair. The other one is so pixelated that I can't really judge it from the background, and I don't want to maybe, make it look like a hairstyle that it isn't. I don't want to give her a baby fro if what it really is supposed to be finger waves. So I'm just borrowing from the other image. I'm going to do a selection of 1 pixel. Let's go ahead and clean that up. All right, and I will make it this previous color because I think in this image she has black hair. So what I'm going to do is a solid color. I'll make it black, just regular old black for right now. Clip it to this layer, create a clipping mask. And then let's change the blend mode to either hue or color. And then I'm going to take this color here. The black naturally has a little blue in it reflected from the sky, so I'm going to pick one of those blacks. It's a little blackish blue. And recolor the hair to that as it naturally was. And then I'm going to see if I can just kind of place this to where it makes more sense. And then I'll blend it in, hopefully. Hopefully. All right. All right, got my brush tool on my layer mask, have black selected. Let's bring the size down. And I'm gonna kind of, so I can blend this in. So if that sky is behind there, it's throwing things off. And these are some kind of hard images to work with, so y'all bear with me. All right, and then on top of this, I'm gonna grab my paintbrush, grab this dark color here. Oops, I won't do that too much. All right, let's see if that makes a little more sense. Okay, so turning that off. Boom, boom. I think that hairstyle makes a little more sense because the one before I cannot see the edge of it, and it's just, I don't think it will do her justice if I can't see the edge there. So I am just playing with it right now to give myself a little bit of forgiveness around here. Oh, I'm painting away the layer mask. I'm thinking I was painting on top. Okie dokes. Let's zoom out, and then I'm gonna bring our scalp back a little bit right here. So on that color overlay, kind of bring it back a little bit. So I can kind of represent her part there. And I get a little bit of that brown in there. All right. Okay. All right, so I think that fixed it a little bit. You can't really tell that I use the same hairdo. I don't think you can. Well, I don't know at first glance. Maybe you can. All right, so I think that's it there. Have the date, and I think that is everything that we need to put on this one. I'm going to bring the size of this down just a little bit. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure I save this one, and let's proof it. I'll go ahead and turn off the background so we can say this is a PNG. All right, so I'm done with this one, I believe. I don't know if we're going to need any changes, but if so, then I definitely keep a lookout for that. And then I'll make sure that I save this file. So if you need some help, just make sure you email me the what you're working on, or if you want me to help you tweak it so you can get it done tonight. I know you're probably trying to get this done for for special reasons as well. All right, and I'm sending over those files right now to Courtney, so hopefully we get a go ahead on that one. But other than that, we should be good for tonight. I know it's late. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. It really does mean a lot. If there are any questions that you have this time, since I'm done with the session, I can take any questions right now that y'all might have about the Academy, about the True Colors ink, any of that kind of stuff. Usually at the end of the session, I'll hang around a bit to answer your questions. All right, and if there are not any questions, then I am working on what we're going to be doing for class on Sunday. So I will let you all know that as soon as I have it wrapped up and ready to go. And for all of those who don't know where I get the content from the classes, if you go to the Innate Creatives Facebook page, the group, and you go to the request. If you type in the word request, there's also a link for the request. And on that post, you just post the things that you're requesting for me to work on. And you may already see that it has has a request. And if you vote on that request, basically by liking it or giving it a heart, then I know that it's something you really want to learn. And I use that as the fuel for the next classes, okay? All right, but see, we don't have any questions here, so I am good for tonight. I hope you all are well and that all of this stuff that we're doing is not too overwhelming, that we're actually learning and growing. And I hope that you all can show me that you're learning and growing by posting in the Innate Creators Facebook group, okay? Thanks, E. I appreciate that. What's up, Corey? I'm just about to head out, but you are just in time for me to tell y'all how much I love y'all and I appreciate y'all dearly. And until next time, you know what it is. Bye.